Nostalgia is a powerful thing, and kinetic engineering knows that. Which is why, when it was time to create a new electric scooter for this day and age, it chose to revisit its past and looked at the Kinetic Honda, which is one of the most iconic two-wheelers to ever grace Indian roads. Now its legacy will be carried forward by an all-electric model. This is the 2026 Kinetic DX Plus. It looks a lot like the older Kinetic Honda, but the question is, can it excite you in the same way that this scooter did? I'm here to answer that question. My name is Amaan Ahmed and you are watching Car and Bike. In case you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we come out with a new video on a new car, a new motorcycle or a new electric two-wheeler. Now let's get on the Kinetic DX Plus and see what it's all about. Kinetic knew its best chance was to tug hard at the heartstrings with the appearance of the new DX, so it's no surprise the scooter tries hard to mimic the design of the original. While I must give Kinetic credit for a serious stab at recreating that visual magic, I'm not fully convinced. The signature cues are all in place. Nearly flat apron, amber-hued turn indicators, two vents under the seat, gills in the side panels. The three-spoke alloy wheel up front is a nod to the triangular wheel of the original, and even the instrument cluster, now fully digital and connected unlike the Kinetic Honda's analog unit, is styled to look the same. But look closer and you realize it just isn't the same. For starters, it is much larger and heavier than the compact and light Kinetic Honda. The smoked visor of the original is replaced by a similarly shaped black trim piece that is effectively a mini Kinetic hoarding. The gently curved apron houses a large illuminated Kinetic logo, and the wheels sport red inserts. Over-the-top touches that could have easily been skipped to retain the simple nature of the original. There's also no tail-mounted spare wheel, which isn't surprising considering no other modern-day scooter has one. However, I couldn't help but wonder if a spare wheel-shaped charger storage compartment could have been part of the package. I am told it was considered during the design phase, but the idea was allowed to fade away over time as another charger packaging idea was greenlit, which we shall get to in just a bit. To my eyes, the Kinetic DX Plus, instead of being neo-retro, is caught somewhere in the gap that exists between neo and retro. It doesn't lean as hard into its predecessor's charming design as I would like it to, and viewed in isolation as a modern-day design, I think it's borderline ordinary. For those unfamiliar with the Kinetic Honda, and I believe they'd constitute a big chunk of today's young riders, relatability will be less of a factor, and this scooter will be just another unremarkable shape in the crowd. On the new Kinetic DX Plus, setting off isn't quite so simple because the humble key has been replaced by a numeric passcode start system. The keyboard sits under a flip-up cover that employs tiny magnets, and you must first long press the power on key for a couple of seconds before you punch in the 4-digit passcode to start the scooter, which takes a few more seconds to power up fully. The dash serves up a personalized greeting, and you can pair it with your smartphone using Bluetooth and the official Kinetic app for navigation and music. Yes, the scooter will play your favorite tracks on the move through a speaker placed behind the grille to the right of the cluster and at a maximum volume that won't wake your neighbors up when you get home late at night. The app also lets you control other vital functions, including adjusting dash brightness and unlocking the scooter's seat, among other things. With a future software update, Kinetic promises you will even be able to start the scooter up using the app alone. Unlike the original, the Kinetic DX Plus does not have a glove compartment. Instead, that space is used to house the scooter's onboard charger and retractable charging cable. With a 3-meter long cable, the DX Plus promises the flexibility of being able to plug into a socket that may otherwise be blocked by other two-wheelers parked in front of it, and also saving the owner the hassle of having to pack the charger into the scooter when charging is complete. There's also lots of room under the seat, 37 liters to be exact, including a clever pocket built into the base of the compartment, along with a phone charger and a light. The pillion foot pegs flip out smartly when you press the dedicated mechanical lever just beneath the left cube, making it one among several features you'll enjoy flexing in front of friends and colleagues, at least in the initial period of ownership. What you won't enjoy is the complete dependency on electronic controls. You cannot open the charging lid or unlock the seat when the scooter is switched off. So every time you need to complete either of those actions when the scooter is parked, you will have to enter the passcode and start the scooter. Speaking of which, the passcode is also the only way to start the scooter. The flip-up cover is not lockable, leaving the keys vulnerable to mischief. Overall quality levels also leave a lot to be desired. Gaps around the pillion foot peg housings were uneven on test scooters, and the grips were hard and cheap. The ill-fitting low-grip floor mat is another put-off, not befitting the scooter's price. Paint had already started chipping off of the frame of the charger housing on our test scooter, a problem that will only worsen over time. The buttons on the cubes are also an ergonomic disaster. 8 different buttons are clubbed into a small, near square enclosure on the left, 6 buttons on the right, with nearly all of them being the same shape and sitting almost flush with the panel. The top row has the lighting controls, and in the middle are the turn indicator buttons and service support button. The bottom row has the horn, seat unlock and charger lid unlock buttons. Because there's practically no room between the tiny buttons and no tactile feedback, you will inadvertently press a button you didn't mean to, while simply trying to switch on the turn signal, a problem exacerbated while wearing riding gloves. I kept accidentally unlocking the seat every time I wanted to turn right and honking every time I wanted to turn left. There's simply no justification for an arrangement that is functionally flawed like this. In its powertrain choices, the Kinetic DX Plus is more budget scooter than premium. It employs a BLDC in-wheel hub motor, which draws energy from a small 2.6 kWh LFP battery. Peak power output is rated at 6.41 bhp, which is lower than what the Kinetic Honda offered all those years ago. But the ace up the new kid's sleeve is its peak torque, 60 Nm, which is available from standstill. Unsurprisingly, throttle response is soft and acceleration is gentle in the base range mode, which displayed a figure of over 100 km on a full charge. Top speed is limited to 50 km/h in this mode, and unless you're snaking through jams on the regular, this mode is not quick enough for open stretches. Power mode strikes a good balance between performance and efficiency, offering crisper throttle response, a higher top speed of 75 km/h and a range of around 80 km, making it best suited for everyday riding. It is in turbo mode where you can access full performance. This mode grants a top speed of 90 km/h, a speed at which the DX Plus feels reasonably planted, but drops range to just 60 km on a full charge. In this mode, it feels surprisingly quick and doesn't feel like it weighs 128 kilos. Grip from the 180 section MRF Zapper end tires is good, and while the DX Plus isn't built for corner carving and feels a touch nose heavy, it can deal with twisty roads just fine. Ride quality, while acceptable, isn't particularly comfortable, with the telescopic fork transmitting plenty of road imperfections, especially potholes and malformed speed breakers back to the rider's arms. The brakes offer sufficient stopping power, even though the levers lack feel, and the front has a tendency to dive under hard braking. Charging the scooter to 80% will take about 3 hours, and a full charge will take somewhere between 4 to 5 hours. The charger is the only major difference between the DX and DX Plus variants, as the former comes with an off-board charger and as a result is 6,000 rupees cheaper. But fond memories can only take you so far. The Kinetic DX in 2026 does manage to rekindle some of the feelings that the original Kinetic Honda conjured, but the reality is that the beauty of this scooter needs to be more than skin deep, and I'm afraid it isn't. Aside from its design and styling, the performance is good, but there are quite a lot of things on this scooter that still require improvement. The fit and finish, the overall quality, the user interface and user experience, all of them need work. And the clincher comes in the price, because this is priced at 1,17,000 rupees ex-showroom, which puts it in the same category as India's highest selling electric scooters, be it the Bajaj Chetak, the TVS iQube, the Ather Rizta or the Vida VX2. All of these scooters can be had for this price or even less. In fact, the iQube and the Chetak that you can buy for this price have substantially higher range because they have bigger battery packs, and I don't think that is something you can ignore. On top of that, Bajaj, TVS have far bigger networks than Kinetic will have even in the foreseeable future. So after sales and service support should be easier with those two brands. The DX Plus has likable qualities, but it isn't quite the well-rounded product we've come to expect in 2026. But that was my first impression of this scooter. What did you think of the DX Plus? Let me know in the comments if there are any features that stood out to you, if you find this design to be quite close to the originals, or if you think there could have been more done to make it look a lot closer to that scooter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it informative, then remember to give us a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who is interested in this scooter or owned a Kinetic Honda in the past, then remember to share this video with them.